Hey, Matt McClelland here from Amplify My Business. Last week, Facebook was down. And man, if that wasn't the biggest story in a long time. Everywhere you looked, people were talking about Facebook being down and how social media is ruining us. There was a whistleblower from Facebook was testifying to Congress on the same day about how Facebook is destroying the world. That was just a bad day to be one, a Facebook shareholder, two, probably a Facebook employee, and three, probably to be Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook was just getting punched left, right, and center. And at the core of it, there was this massive outage where all of their services were down. Even Facebook's internal tools that they used to run their business was down. Nobody could access their profiles. Advertisers weren't seeing their ads being delivered. People couldn't communicate with clients if they were using Facebook Messenger. It was just a big mess. And this impacted real estate investors just as it impacted millions of small businesses, not just in the United States, but around the world. This was a total outage of Facebook, as far as I understand. So what I want to talk about for a minute is what happened to the real estate investors that were running Facebook ads during the outage, and just a couple thoughts about what to do going forward. So first of all, if you were a real estate investor running ads, whether you were a client of ours here at Amplify, if you didn't know, we help real estate investors generate motivated seller leads using Facebook ads, and then we help them convert those leads into closed deals using our CRM, using our follow-up team. We actually have people who will go in and help you close the deals for you. So if you were one of our clients, or if you're doing it on your own, you would see that your ads weren't being delivered. You weren't spending money and you weren't seeing any leads from Facebook ads. Maybe you had some trickle through of people who had bookmarked your page from seeing the ad a few days ago, but for the most part, if you were running ads on Facebook and using that as your primary source of leads for that day to day and a half that Facebook was having this outage, you weren't getting anything. And this pissed off a lot of people. This caused a lot of major disruptions. There are businesses all across the country and across the world that really depend on Facebook for not just for communicating with their customers or posting updates, but for actually finding new business. We spend a lot of money here at Amplify My Business every single month ourselves to put our message in front of customers and to acquire those new customers, bring them into our business. And our clients do the same thing. We love spending money on Facebook. Our clients love spending money on Facebook because it brings them deals, it brings them new revenue. And so to have that revenue disrupted was a major outage, not just for Facebook, but for lead flow. And a question that was really going off on all the other social media platforms and on the news, especially with the whistleblower going at the same time, was, should you ditch Facebook? This is a great question. A lot of people have been wondering, morally, should I be running ads on Facebook? Or is this good for me? Are my clients still even there? Or tons of reasons. Maybe there's political issues or issues just about social media in general. So many people right now are asking, should we get off of Facebook? And while I can't give you a definitive answer that's best for your business, I think that it's probably best that we kind of pump the brakes on abandoning something that could be working, could do just absolutely amazing things for your business. So a few things we should go over on this is that, one, Facebook is not going anywhere. Despite that outage, they're still here. There's still billions of users who use Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It's just so core to the fabric of society at this point that there's really no other comparable place that has the audience and the reach that Facebook. There's actually no place that's even close to it. And as a lot of people have been asking, should you ditch Facebook? You may be wondering if your customers are still there, but I'm telling you, it's very, very difficult to get people to leave to go to a new platform. There's not a lot of 40, 50, 60-year-old people and plus and younger, but especially that age range where that's a lot of our demographic of who we're looking for as real estate investors. We're looking for homeowners who have equity in their home, kind of looking in that 40 plus range. That group of people is the least likely to ever go and find a new social media platform. So Facebook is still the place to be. It's still where your audience is. And it's still the cheapest ad platform to acquire quality, motivated seller leads at scale. it's still the most powerful marketing tool in history. And ultimately, it's still a fantastic source of deals. Now, that may be biased because we use Facebook and all of our clients use Facebook, but we don't only use Facebook. We run ads on Google. We help our clients do things on Google. We do cold calling. As much as I hate it, we do all of the methods for generating leads. We do prospecting and cold calling and list scraping. We do it all. But Facebook is still, by far, by a very wide margin for us, our most effective source of new deals and the most effective source of new deals for our real estate clients. We have hundreds of homes going under contract every single month from Facebook ads that produce motivated seller leads. So yes, we had an outage. We'll talk about what to do during those outages in a second. But this isn't the first time that there was a very large conversation going on across the country of should we leave Facebook. That's, with all the political stuff happening, it's been more common. But a few months ago, there was something that I'm calling the iOS 15 ad apocalypse, where if you're in the advertising space, you may have heard of this. If you're not, this may be totally new to you, but Apple made some changes to their software on your iPhone. Really, this was Apple updating its privacy settings to make it harder for websites to track your activity. And Facebook, as you probably know, tracks a lot of your activity. So there was a lot of discussion and debate. Are Facebook ads still going to be a good channel? Is this just going to totally neuter Facebook's ability to identify people who are likely to be interested in certain ads? Personally, I was worried. I thought that this was going to be a really bad thing for the industry. And ultimately, it didn't really make a difference. We didn't see any significant changes to our cost per lead, to our conversion rates, and to ultimately the amount of deals that we're able to acquire. Actually, our company, we grew since then. We've been able to acquire more customers using Facebook ads since that happened. And many of our clients have seen the same thing. I don't think that it's because of that change at all. And we see no signs of things stopping right now. The doom and gloom that people were prophesying largely did not happen. There were certain advertisers who were affected, but it was definitely not the real estate investors that we work with. It wasn't any of the real estate investors we know. It wasn't any of the small businesses we know. So this conversation around the outage and this question of should we ditch Facebook, this isn't the first time it's come up. This isn't this isn't the last time it's going to be asked. And there may come a day when I'm making a video saying, man, it is time to get off Facebook and time to go put all of our money in TikTok for our advertising. Maybe that's where the future is going. If it is, I'm concerned, but I wouldn't be surprised. But for the next 6 to 12 months, I'm still all in on Facebook. It is still by far our biggest source of leads. But what should you do on days where there's an outage? Let's say there's another outage 3 months from now. How can you make it so that doesn't negatively impact your business too much? So ultimately, what should you do if your lead source dries up? I have a few things. I think first, you should always have a secondary lead source that you're experimenting with. I usually recommend that you put around 80 to 90% of your budget into the thing that's working and have a small budget, 10 to 15 to 20%, that you're experimenting with another channel. And even if that other channel is not as cheap, maybe you're getting $30 leads on Facebook and this other source is producing $60 leads, but at least on a day or a week where you're having issues with your main platform, you still have that backup. Even if it's not as affordable, it's good to have that thing in play to counteract these outages. If you've sent out an offer to people, you could follow up and say, hey, just wondering to know if you've thought any more about that offer. What would it take for this to be a yes? Send them a text that says that. And if you've got, 50 to 75 people in your database who you've made offers to, some of them are going to respond and they'll tell you what you need to do to move the deal forward. So when you have no incoming leads, it's a really good time to look at your current pipeline and reach out to them. Be proactive, be aggressive. Phone calls, emails, and texts. If you're in real estate, sometimes you can just show up as well. So it could be a good day to focus on your outbound efforts. But also, it's a good day to look at investing in an alternate lead source where maybe try Google AdWords, maybe try something new with the virtual assistant. Maybe try something new, cold calling yourself. I hate cold calling, but it still produces results. But ultimately, if you've been consistently advertising and consistently filling your pipeline with leads for months, then a single day of limited lead flow should not, in the long run, make any impact on your business whatsoever on average. Yes, maybe there was a deal that could have theoretically been, landed in your lap on that day, but you'll never know. But on average, you shouldn't see much of an impact if you've been building the pipeline consistently. So really, the best way to prevent having a major negative impact from a Facebook outage or any advertising outage, the best way to negate that negative consequence is to have built up a solid pipeline. So the time right now, if you're watching this and all systems are go and green lights everywhere and Facebook ads are working, then keep building your pipeline, keep advertising, keep getting more people coming into your business for you to follow up with, so that on a day that there may be an outage in the future, you're prepared, you have something to do. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that this makes you feel a little bit more certain and a little bit less uneasy around what happens with Facebook and is it a good platform to be on. I am still so ridiculously all in on Facebook. It's still the best platform that I've ever seen to generate deals, no matter almost doesn't matter what industry you're in. Every place that we've tried Facebook ads, it has consistently been our top performer. But I do have a question for you. Were you affected by this outage? Were there some other things that we missed that we didn't cover in this video that negatively or positively impacted your business? A lot of people reported that, wow, with Facebook being out, all of a sudden they got a lot more productive and their outlook on the world improved, and maybe that's a good time for you personally to get off social media. That's fine. You can get off Facebook, you can get off Instagram, you can do whatever you want. But don't make your business suffer by turning off a predictable, affordable lead source that generates deals consistently just because of the fear around what may happen with an outage. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stick around. We've got a lot more content for real estate investors or just for any small business trying to grow online. We've got content to help you, comes out every week. Talk later.